Yeah, he's got FOMO. So, and that and Jonathan Keller wanted to see it too, and I'm like, Jonathan's been my remote tech support the whole time. He's been fine tuning the stream audio and video rates. That should, if you project well, yeah, if you project well, you could just do something like this.
I'll real mic. Oh, we're live. All right. Okay, sounds good. Hi, everybody. My name's Corey. I'm going to be walking through some of the badge stuff. I am not a creator of the badge contest, but I am an expert at digging through logs, and that's what we're going to be working off of now. So the analysis is actually a little bit limited. So the first thing that I need is a favor from everybody. Take out your badge if you participated in the badge contest. If you didn't, that's fine. We're going to generate some logs. Because that's what we're working off here is pure API logs, not actually reaching into the database. So I need everybody to open their badge and go to the store, which will then generate the API logs that tells the logs how much money you have, which is what we're going to use to generate the scoreboard. So yes, open up your badge, go down to the store, and then that will do that. So while everybody's doing that, there's a couple fun visuals that we're going to work through stuff. So for the player IDs are all these hexadecimal things. So at some point as we go through here, I'm going to ask you, why don't we do, while you're also on your badge thing, if you haven't done it, go to the info screen, which will tell you your player ID, which probably starts with 28CDC and ends with these various things. So keep that player ID in mind because we're going to start to poke at some of the aggregate information about what happened in the contest, and then we will have people raise hands in shame or triumph, depending on what we're talking about. Like this first chart that we're looking at right here, this is the number of times that a user has bumped into a wall. Which is another thing to say that they couldn't move or they moved into a wall. I'm just going to, here's day one or so, because this covers pretty much the whole time of the contest, right? The levels are pretty steady as we go. But then it was day two. Somebody turned on a bot or something. A few people wrote some scripts. So I don't know who this person is. 16D4 is what it ends in. Is that person here, out of curiosity? 16D4, who is that? Okay, and for the benefit of the recording, I'll try and repeat what people say out in the audience. So it sounds like it's this individual over here who had a bug in. Did you write a script? Okay, so it was a script with a bug in the script that caused a bunch of ramming into walls. Okay, so that explains that one. You fixed it? Well, okay, so since you're here and we're concentrating on you, we'll do this. We'll do a little flash investigation into what you did overall. So here's, this is going to be skewed. So the first chart this is just endpoint hit in general. So I'm guessing about here's where you turned that script on, which is what, 8 a.m. this morning or so? 9:30 or so this morning. And then you're hitting probably the move API mode. Yep, that's not unexpected. You ended with $67,000. That's pretty good, with 118 walls. And here is your value over time so it looked like your script was effective. because that's what jumped up your value as we went. But let's go back and actually let's do you guys want to do the final reveal of who won first or last? Okay, I heard a mix, but I think mostly last, so we'll go with last. So we'll just explore a couple more other things. So let's see. So that one's interesting. How about who is the, let's see, not that one. Who robbed the most? Oh, who failed the most at robbing? Let's do that one. Okay, so this is a chart of the, a couple people had some really good, some good tools running on the second day here. So this is, the most robberies failed. So let's see the first day. I think the champion is probably this one, which was consistently about here. Does anybody know what player is this? Do we have 3E5F? Okay. Did you have a script running? Wow. $1. Here's your value over time, which then value sometimes goes down if it gets spent on things. To be honest, that part I'm a little unclear on because I didn't build it. And then let's check over here for the champions on day 2. 6D4 is one of them. 755. Is anybody 755? Of houses and failing, only ending with $10. So that one didn't make it all the way. Yes, crime does not pay, but actually it does in this game. So most successful robbers. Let's do this one. So this is a triumph here. These are the most successful robberies throughout the entire contest, which is my crunch for a second. 3. Okay, so the champion, most successful robber by quite a bit compared to second place is 3E5F, which is the one we were just talking about with the consistent application 16D4. And this is the number of successful robberies, not the amount of money that was taken in the robberies. Is there? Let's check a couple other ones that we had, maybe. Oh, yeah, actually, sure. Let's do that. So for those who don't know, so the logs that we're looking at, let's just look at a raw example. API requests. So here's an example of, give me just a second. It is not Apache logs. Let's do this. Whoops. Okay, so let's just do. Okay, we'll just look at 10 of these as an example. So here's what the logs look like, and I've pretty formatted them. Which, if anyone was in the workshop, I learned something about our own product, and that we could even do this because I had no idea. So this is an example of the type of logs that we're looking. We got to see the request, which includes the method, the endpoint, and the path that the player was hitting, where the request came from, and then headers that they're put in. The X API token header is the security header, which is redacted. So I'm going to pro tip that I'm going to repeat from the logging workshop. Don't put credentials in your logs. That's pretty important. So good job for the organizers to redact that. And then you get some response information like the status code of the response, some information coming back about that. And then this is pretty much what we're analyzing for all of the analytics that we're doing today, or at least as an end of the hot wash. So like here's one where somebody attempted to leave a house and the server responded, "You aren't in a house." So success, false. We can take a look and see if there's a couple other ones. So this is somebody moving and the response from the server is, "Yep, okay, you're at this new location." and there's some stuff around you, type thing. So that's what we're doing when we're analyzing this. So we're not connecting up to a database. That is mostly because the organizers of the badge contest aren't physically here due to some conflicts, unfortunately. So as we're doing this aspect of the hot wash and looking at how the game went, it's pretty much just log analysis for how we're doing this. So we're doing it all on the fly, which is why I had to ask you all to open up your store. And why don't we do that now? Let's go to the final scoreboard and see how things did. So our top first place winner is 1686. Anybody here? Over there on the right side. Stage right, stage left. There's our first place winner with almost $300,000 in total value, which the value can be split between the actual raw cash that you have and the value of your walls that you have created. And this one is particular. How many walls did you build? Okay, so the script has a loop that goes through and places a wall absolutely everywhere that could be placed. In fact, why don't we take a look at your dashboard? So this is the first place winner with a bunch, 40,000 walls, which is pretty good. Okay, look at this though. Okay, this I find this interesting. And your script. So, but you got all the dollars at the end. So your dollar count went way. I'm just going to get total value out of here. So we're looking at dollar count. So your dollar count went way up and then way down because you spent it all on walls, and then you got a bunch of dollars again at the end because you just sold them all. Okay, so at the very end, liquidating the walls, maximize the cash value. That's smart. That's smart. Okay, and then our second place, which, I'm kind of doing this opposite since really we're supposed to go second, third place. Second place, 16D4. Who's 16D4? Okay, that was our same script that was bumping into walls aimlessly. Was beneficial for second place. And then 16BC is our third place winner here. 16BC. Looks like not present, but that's okay. And did first place ever get robbed? That's a good question. And I can answer that question. Let's see. So, especially if I go to, I think we had like robberies, most robbed players. Here, let's look at this one. Which players have been robbed the most? So this one was a little tricky to put together from logs perspective because we had to, so first we're going to search all the logs to find out which house is yours. And then we're going to figure out which house got robbed because there's no actual direct connection between the people in the houses. So whoever was 173B, you were successfully robbed 15 times, which is not very great. And then wait, I guess I'll just kind of do it the cheap way instead of the smart way here. This isn't going to work. I thought I'd be able to find that within here, but that's not working. Okay, so let's see. So we want to see if the first place was ever robbed, just out of curiosity. So then if I say, I tell you what, let's just do this. Oh, wait, that would be the players doing the robbing. That's an interesting question that I will attempt to do not live on the stage right now and come up with the answer later. And I think, those are kind of the fun ones. There's a couple other ones like, poorest players ended up, because there's a bunch of accounts that pretty much never got any money. So then that one's there, but wealthiest players, most movement totals by player ends up looking a lot like bumping into walls because that's there. But yeah, if anybody wanted to get in and play with these logs, you are absolutely okay to do that. If you go to this URL, which I'm not sharing because this is full screen. If you go to gravwell.bsid.es, you can log into the Gravwell instance with the username of shared and the password of password. This is, however, a kind of not all that big, small instance, so it doesn't have a lot of horsepower behind it. So if everybody's running search at the same time, it'll be fine. But if it's slow, just give it time or press F5 or refresh or whatever. But I don't know how long this is going to stay up, but you can take a look at all the logs that occurred throughout the event. Yep. Was there an endpoint that reset the entire leaderboard? Not to my knowledge. In fact, why don't we just take a look at, so last year, which is a great question, informed by last year, I think, because last year there was an API that if you hit the API, it deleted like the entire contest database. And that is not present on here, but why don't we take a look at all APIs that were attempted, just to take a look and see, or not just attempted, but all APIs that were seen anywhere in the last couple of days. So I'm going to type for a second. We'll see if something weird shows up in the list. I do API requests, request path, request endpoint. Stats count by endpoint. Okay, so this gives us a count of all endpoints hit and the frequency in which they were hit. And then I'll just get this out of the way so I get a little more real estate on the screen. Okay, so yes, move, rob house, leave house. So these are all kind of the big ones. Evicting. Did anybody actually evict people out of the house? I mean, this API was hit 20 times. Show of hands, anybody actually hit the eviction API? Who was using that? Nobody. Well, that's interesting. And then you can move your vault around. A couple people did that. So let's go. Or is this the, I don't know. Yep. Okay. So Todd says that we're going to attempt to keep the container and this whole instance up for about a week. So you'll have that much time to look at the logs should you desire. And yeah, so these are the more rare ones, but there is no API that says erase everything that anybody could hit this time. Doesn't look like. Okay. So yeah, so congratulations to our winners again. Hope everybody had fun with the contest. And I think we can all thank Todd and Meekles and Roman and anybody else who I may not be aware of for badge creation and contest activity. So yes, thank you to the organizers, and we'll kick it over to Tiffany.
Woohoo! Thank you, Corey. Hello, everyone. My name's Tiffany Keller. I'm the event coordinator for this year. We are getting close to the end, almost there. How's everyone doing? Are we tired or ready to be done? Yes, I believe the presentations that we have live streamed, we're going to make sure that they stay on the YouTube channels. I believe they were part of the... Joe, what do you think? Joseph, sorry. Mm-hmm. She's behind you. I believe we have most of them. Anybody who has presented and would like to have their slides added to their videos can contact info@BSidesIdahoFalls.org with their slides. Mm-hmm. Yep, sounds good. Well, I want to thank everyone who attended this year. It's been an amazing turnout. We were hoping for 300. but also somewhat not thinking we were going to get 300. But we ended up with 272 badges who are registered and 283 who are actually registered with 20 walk-ons between the 2 days. Now we want to make sure that we actually thank our sponsors. So we had University of Idaho Office of Information Technology. They actually allowed us to do an in-kind sponsor so we can actually have this campus for free. So we didn't have to pay anything for this event. This location. And the Wi-Fi. Yeah. That's another topic. We also have Gravwell, who sponsored us gold, which helped, add some more coins into our. And CompuNet was also a silver sponsor. University of Idaho Falls, or University of Idaho, Idaho Falls campus. So both U of I campuses supported us. They were also bronze. CEI sponsored as bronze as well. CRI sponsored as bronze as well, and we ended up with 5,500. So we give a round of applause for the sponsors. They are, and the more money we have, the more we can actually, expand and put more within this community. So the cost for us to put on this conference this year came close to $8,000. So to get an idea of what we spend to make sure that everybody has shirts, badges, fun things to do in the workshops, make sure we have enough AV equipment so we're not running around with chicken heads on our heads. So, and if you know any of sponsors that may want to help support us next year, have them reach out to us on info@BSides IdahoFalls.org. And if you would like to volunteer and actually be part of the organizer group, we have a volunteer page on our volunteer tab on our website. You can click on that and say you want to work behind the scenes. And then we can be able to grow the community and more options to have at the conference this year or next year. Not this year, we're done. So can I please have all of the organizers and volunteers to please stand up? Sweet. These people helped. These people have helped us in many ways to make this conference run. And can we get a round of applause? But you already did it. You jumped the gun. Woo! Sure can.
We would like to thank our event organizer. Tiff has kept everything running, ensured that all of the talks and the services and every detail was attended to for 9 months as we prepared for this conference. So, and came today with all of the data to describe how we did it and what we achieved. So Tiff, thank you so much.
Thank you. Now I'd like to actually have all the attendees stand up who showed up and decided to stay with Hot Wash. Without attendees like you guys, we would all be sitting here talking to ourselves, wondering why we created a conference. So thank you so much for showing up and enjoying everything that we offer. A round of applause. So now we want to make sure we get feedback. We always do this every year. The hot wash, not many people actually know what the hot wash is. So the hot wash is a chance for our attendees, volunteers, everybody to give us feedback on how we're doing. So as you see up here on this board, green is what did you like about BSides Idaho Falls? And you can fill out however many forms you want. We can bring more stickies over. Pink is something you want changed or that you disliked about this year. Now, if you're going to tell me that I didn't like the restrooms, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that one. Give us something that we can actually change and how to possibly change it or how you would like to see it changed. So, and on that note, we conclude BSides Idaho Falls 2024. Woo!
Thank you, sir. You bet. Hold on, Todd. We got something for you. You're still here? It's over. The conference is over. Go home.